let's get it underway. Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited episode number fucking 20 of Beyond the Rift Season 2, starring the one and only Ama Cutie Pie, hero to many. Thank you guys for joining me today. Joining me, my wonderful guest, Skara. Skara, who are you?
What's up, guys? I've been a player, coach. Right now, all I do is stream.
Skara, you say the fucking thing every goddamn time. Come on, dude.
Come on, dude. I want to hype myself. All right, you know what? I'm Skara. You guys already know who I am. The most important person is the one we have yet to introduce. Froggen, who are you?
I don't know, dude. I'm a nobody.
Dude, for let's say we have someone's mom watching Beyond the Rift. How would you describe who you are to your own mother? You're a guy.
I'm just a guy that plays League of Legends. That's what I would say, dude.
That's a good fucking description. I can respect that. Dude, well, something that needs no description, but I'm going to give it anyway. Discord live question and answer. Amazing Discord service. Dude, love them. Gotta have them. Gotta download them. Use it for the live question and answer at the end of Beyond the Rift. You got questions, we got answers. I can't wait, personally, to answer some of your guys' questions. But enough of that, dude. Let's get straight into it. Let's get into the topic. So we're going to be starting off with topic number 1. In League, you identify by playing one role as opposed to champions usually. Do you think this limits actual player skill by making them hard role players? I don't know what the fuck this question means.
Let me kind of clarify this. So in other mobile games, like sometimes you play positions, right? So in Dota, rather than playing lanes, you played like carry, like 1 through 5 in terms of like how much farm you get and how hard you're going to carry the game, right? Which means that you may potentially play multiple lanes in the game. But League of Legends is really, really interesting. The fact that you only play one position always. Maybe earlier in League of Legends, you used to competitive players just like lane swap. Okay, we're going to do this cool thing. You're going to play this here. But nowadays, everyone is known as like that AD player, that top lane player, that support player. Do you think that makes people like worse in the game because they're just so defiant, like worse overall players? Do you think that's just fine?
What is is 1 being a carry position or is that a support?
1 is the carry, the hard carry, and the 5 is the support role, the role that gets no farm.
So with this question, you're asking, what is it like instead of being 1 through 5, being bot support?
Well, it's more like, what do you think it's possible to even be in a situation where players should be learning all the roles at once? Because when someone gets autofilled, your support gets autofilled to jungle, and you're just like, you know what? This is probably not going to end up too well because he doesn't play this role normally, and no one usually wants to play another role. Everyone just wants to play one role and one lane or one jungle.
I think that it's not a good thing that people only want to play one role, one thing. I think that players should be versatile. What was his name? Was it Matter or some shit? That had he had 5 fucking challenger accounts, all with each fucking role. Who was that again?
Mata had 3, I think. He had 80. It was 80 support in jungle. Back in season 3, he had 3 challenger accounts with 3 different roles.
Yeah, I think being able to because the thing is with League, it's basically a decision-making game, and a lot of people, you should rely on your teammates to know what you need to do and shit, but if you played enough bottom lane where you're like, okay, bot lane's gonna go and fucking rotate here, do some stupid shit, I'm the mid laner, I'm gonna set something up to, stop this, that kind of work. In solo queue, it's fucking useless, because everyone's just running around like fucking idiots anyways. And probably in competitive, it's useless too because you'd rather just listen to someone that plays the role for a fucking living than, hey, I play this role off role sometimes, so I have fucking just as much knowledge as you. I think it's nice to have, but it's pretty whatever in most situations, I guess. What about you, Froggen?
Yeah. I think for solo queue, it doesn't really matter if you play other roles. Also, a lot of people identify just by playing 2 or 3 champions, and they can play those champions in multiple roles. So I know a lot of Anivia mains will just play Anivia top or Anivia support if they end up getting Anivia, right? Like, you don't really have to identify as just playing one role only. But I think for solo queue, you don't need to learn other roles in order to, like, climb. You can just one-trick it and climb anyway.
Yeah, I think one-tricking is like the best thing you can do to climb too. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I started off just one-tricking. I mean, I imagine Froggen when he started out.
Actually, I was a huge troll. When I used to climb, the only reason why I started playing ranked was because my friends went to school longer than I did. So when I played alone, I just played solo queue. But I played like 4,000 normal games before I started playing ranked. Like, I just wanted to have fun playing the game, right? So I would just play like AP Tristana and tank Gragas top when AP Gragas was busted. Didn't really matter.
AP Tristana was pretty fucking good back then.
Yeah, it was good. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that shit was ridiculous. No, I know what you mean, dude. Yeah, when I first started playing ranked, it was just like, I'm just gonna play Poppy and I'll play her in fucking some stupid ass roles, and who gives a shit, dude? Doesn't really matter what happens, but yeah, I don't know. I think for identifying as a role, it doesn't matter. Most people, yeah, if they play top lane, they're probably just like Jace one trick or some stupid shit, and then they'll just play Jace in every fucking lane anyway. So, and they'll just jungle it too or whatever. I mean, what do you think, Scar?
No, maybe I look down too much. Not look down, but like, I think it's nice to have the ability to play multiple roles. Like, I just don't like it when they're like, okay, I can only play this one lane, or like, but to be honest, that's how you become really good at one lane. So rather than people being like jack of all trades, maybe they'd be better players overall. I guess in the end, it doesn't super matter, because if they're playing just one role, they're getting really good at that one role, right? So who cares if they do get autofilled to another role? That's just a problem you're gonna have.
Yeah, it's just shit matchmaking, dude. You can blame.
Yeah, it's like if you get 2 autofill players in a team, you're probably gonna lose anyways. So while that if they played all the roles, it might help those situations. They might be worse players in every other situation. So it's like, yeah, I guess it's just in the end doesn't really matter.
I think for defining as one role, if you literally only play one role and you go into and you queue up to ranked, it's important to know what you're already gonna play. If you do end up getting autofilled, so you actually just have something to fall back on. Like, there's some champions you can just play that doesn't really matter, right? Like, you get top, just play Maokai, dude.
Yeah, like
you're gonna do well.
Yeah, that's the fucking truth right there. Like, understanding your limitations. Like, some people, they'll get support and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna play Blitzcrank. I never played support in my life, and I'm a fucking Jace main. I'm gonna play Blitzcrank this game. It's like, we fucking lost, dude. Just play fucking Janna and just AFK and drill on yourself. Like, yeah, knowing your role, I guess, is pretty important. Yeah, but all right, let's go to the next topic. Froggen, you have one of the longest competitive careers of anyone playing right now. What do you attribute your resilience to?
I just play the game, honestly. I know during the off season, a lot of people take breaks. They play other games. They don't really play solo queue that much. Every single off season since season 2, I've just been streaming pretty much every single day. So I just stay on top of the game that way. I think that's pretty much it. I think anyone can really be a pro for a long time if they just put in the time and effort.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Yeah, being able to play the game a lot's like the difference between a lot of pros like falling off and pros staying in there. I mean, I want to ask you, how do you manage to keep? Because do you take breaks from League at all or no?
After I've only really ever taken one break from League. Actually 2. After we lost to Kabuma Worlds, I was like, damn, dude. I went on a vacation after that for like a fucking sad, dude. I went to Disney World in Florida for a week.
I can understand that.
And then the other time I took a break was after we went 1-17 in LCS. That was like pretty depressing too,
Yeah, so, those are good break times. I could agree with that.
When life hits you hard, man, I'm not gonna need a break from League.
Wait, but you said those breaks are only for like 1 week, right? Like I know players who took like a month break, but you're off the radar for 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty long break. Like, I kind of want to play League, partly because I don't really try other games, but it's just fun to play, you know? It's not like I need to grind it out 16 hours a day kind of thing, but I do play League.
Yeah, man, I'm just surprised. Like, what do you think of other pros that, like, do you think that other pros don't put in enough time into playing just like solo queue and all that shit during off season? Like, do you feel like there should be more of a commitment to League, or?
Not necessarily. I think it's one thing that I have kind of neglected is just I spent like 3-4 years just only playing League. I think other things in life are pretty important too. Like, it's pretty important to take care of like your mental health, your physical health, friendships, what's called your relationship with your family and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty important to take care of. It's not really something I've been doing a whole lot the first couple of years I played pro. So it's not like I don't really think I did it a super good way. I've just been playing a lot of League.
Yeah, I'm just impressed. Like, yeah, playing competitively and like not having breaks would just mental health. My mental would just fucking be kaboomed after that shit. Like,
dude, you stream solo queue every single
yeah,
day.
but solo queue is fun. Yeah, no, solo queue is fun though, because the thing is it's like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, ultimately, it's like, you fucking beat me in lane. Good fucking job, dude. Way to fucking go. Like, if I was playing an LCS and I was like getting fucked or some shit, it'd be like, holy shit, I can't fucking, like, my mental would just fucking be gone. So I think it's pretty impressive for that. Do you really think solo queue and competitive are? I feel like solo queue doesn't fucking matter what happens. Like, I play a solo queue game, it's like teams fucking 0-20, who gives a shit? I'm 0-20, who gives a shit, dude?
I mean, I think it only really matters if you want it to matter, right? Like, obviously it's not really a team environment, and it's more difficult playing solo queue the last couple of years because Riot has been wanting it to be more of a team game. So you rely on your team a little more and you need to work with them. So, but I still think you can actually make solo queue matter. I think a lot of pros just go into solo queue, like I do it too, just like, you just kind of run it down, just play as aggressive as you want. If you get ganked, it's like a fucking shit-tier jungler, you know?
Yeah, no, that's what I do every fucking game. No, that's exactly what I do. I just fucking hump the tower, and it's like, I got ganked, we fucking lost. That's just it. I don't know. That just makes solo queue fucking makes it fun. Dude, if I played solo queue and I was like, you know what, the jungler pathing, he's going to be around here at this time. I got to get wards out. Let me hug the tower. I'm going to play really safe, and I'm going to wait for my team to capitalize on this moment while the jungler's bottom. Team dies fucking top lane. That's when my fucking mental is just like, dude, the jungler is fucking sitting bottom the whole fucking time, and you died in a 1v1. How the fuck is that possible?
Dude, that's why I always have to tell people when they first start streaming, they're just like, how do you stream for so long? My number one advice, don't take it too seriously. Because if you invest too much of yourself into the game, who do you become? You become toxic, like 100%, because you just can't take games like that back to back to back for 9-10 hours in a row and like be okay. Like, no one can do that. Like, your mental state will deteriorate to the point where you just like raging at your teammates.
Now, I mean, I definitely think you should take solo queue serious, but yeah, like a lot of people, they'll like, I gotta min-max, I gotta do everything perfectly, and as soon as one of their teammates fuck up, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I did everything perfect and you ruined it. It's like, I mean, first of all, you probably didn't because it's fucking solo queue and you're some random fuck in this game. And then secondly, it's like, what do you expect from people playing solo? Like, no one gives a shit, dude. I mean, as tragic as that is to say, like, yeah, no one's going to be like, all right, jungler's here, let me play safe. It's like, all right, jungler's here. I got a 1 CS lead. Let me see if I can 1v2 him. That's just how it goes, dude. But anyways, back on topic, Scar, you got any comments for Froggen's long competitive career?
Dude, I honestly just think it's because he loves the game. Like, straight up. It's something that I've noticed like a lot when I like talk to Froggen all the time. it's like if I talk to him about League of Legends, it's just like it could go on to be like a multi-hour conversation. It feels like, and I just think that like the biggest thing is like people think it doesn't matter, like, but it does. I think it's a huge boon to have someone who just really, really enjoys playing the game. I know a lot of players, like, you know, Bang in the interview said, you know what, I hate League right now. You know, I don't really like it. I don't have a lot of fun in it. And I think that that's okay, maybe in the short term. But, like, if you're looking to...
Yeah, that's why I got second place, dude, because it fucking sucks. Come on. That's a loser mentality right there.
Exactly. And so I do think that he's someone who, you know, and stayed at the top because, you know, he just loves the game.
Let me ask you this now. We'll end this topic with this question. You guys are both mid laners. Skara's career fizzled out long before yours, Froggen. Why do you think Skara's career didn't have the longevity of yours?
Ooh, okay.
I ended it at Battle of the Atlantic.
Alright, go on to the next question.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Your recent teams have not found much success, but individually you're still dominant as a player from the man himself. What would you need in a team to find at least domestic prominence?
I think this question is pretty hard to answer, not gonna lie.
Give it to us straight, dude.
Yeah, I always wanted to hear from you because I've heard from a lot of other people, Froggen needs X or Froggen needs Y. You know, I want to know what you think about it.
Here,
I don't know. I feel like it's such a difficult question to answer. Really, in the end, all you need is just really good players, and you'll be able to win. Like, you want people that just you can be on the same page with and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh shit, this guy needs like X amount of resources. He can't work with this guy because he also needs X amount of resources. All that kind of shit, I think, is just straight bullshit.
You think it's garbage? Well, let me ask you, when you see those analysis tables or whatever, and it's like, here's the gold distribution of like how this player farms and shit, and why it's not going to work on this team because this player's gold distribution charts also show that it's going to be overlapping and all that bullshit. You think all that shit's just useless?
Of course it's useless. Like, you can literally get more gold in the game just because you're last hitting well doing laning phase compared to some of, like, what someone on your team might just be last hitting like shit, and then you're gonna have a higher gold percentage, right? It's like, it's not like you're taking up more resources. You're literally just getting some gold on the map that's available to you. You know, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Whenever I see those things, and then I just love seeing those, and then I love looking at the comments. Like, yeah, this player is such a fucking selfish, stupid player. Why is he taking all the resources? It's like, dude, you're commenting on this useless ass fucking data that means fucking nothing. Like, if they don't like do it for laning phase, they don't do it for length of the game, they don't do it for anything. It's just like, here's the fucking data. All right, let's draw our conclusions. I agree with you on that. I mean, I'll say, so I'll start out. Me and Skara will say what we'll need. I think for me to have dominance in an LCS team, I'd need 4 role players. And then me as the carry player. If you give me just players that can hold their own, like, God, you put me, let's just say, you give me Skara and Kiwi Kid, we fucking lost, dude. It's fucking over. You give me...
What?
You give me just 2 role players, dude. Not even 2, like, deadweight, 2 role players, and we're good to go. Skara, what do you think you'd need on a team?
Well, who won Worlds last year? Samsung. So I would need 4 of their players, and then I think I'd have a good chance.
You think?
You can play Malzahar?
Yeah, I can play Malzahar, and then I think I got a good. Exactly. That's how he won World Championship Finals. I can emulate that style.
That's good shit. Froggen, come on. You gotta tell. What do you think? Do you want some hyper aggressive jungler? Do you want a ward bot so you can?
Right. Let me tell you this, man. Like, you're saying you want 2 role players on your team, right? What the fuck does that even mean?
I want 2 players. I want 2 players. I don't ever want to hear them say, I'm sending something. I'm going crazy, dude. I'm about to do some shit. I want them to say, "What do you need, cutie? When do you need it?" That's all I ever want coming out of their mouth. I'll tell them, "Go give me fucking wards and go shut the fuck up afterward. Go fucking initiate on this shit and give me this kill, dude." That's all I want from them. I don't want to hear, "I need a gank." I don't want to hear, "I got my lane low, come and pressure." I just want, "Cutie, what do you need?" Is that something that Froggen would desire in a teammate?
I don't think it works like that.
No, dude, I've been.
If you want to play that way, sure. There's just some games that just gonna get messed up. Like they're gonna die, they're gonna lose their tower. It's like, well, Cutie, what do you want, man? Should I get a pink ward for you for your bot lane? So
let me tell you
when
something.
The 5 people are coming to fuck you.
Let me tell you something. I know that feeling because I play again. When I played, I'm sure Scar remembers this. I had the most fun because it was Shifter would pick Ziggs, and then I would pick Jinx, and then we'd farm until 80 minutes, and then we'd take one team fight that'd be win or lose, and then the game was over. And I'll tell you guys,
that style too.
Yeah, that's a great play style. Little spoiler, you're probably always gonna fucking lose when you play that style. So anything that's not close to that, and I'll be a happy man. I guess you'll say too, anything that's not close to that, Froggen, you'll be pretty good with.
Well, dude, I don't know. He made his fame on his Anivia play, his stalling Anivia play back in.
Wait, Scout, let me cut you off right there. This is one issue I have with this, right? People only remember the Moscow 5 games because Moscow 5 was like, oh shit, they're the best, they win every single tournament, right? Then this CLG EU team comes in, we play like Anivia against them 4 or 5 times, and every single game is like 70 minutes long, and that's the only thing people remember. So everybody thinks we're literally just stalling every single game we ever play. If you have the Season 2 stats, you will see we actually had some of the shortest games because the only thing we did was play mid-game team comps. But people only remember the fucking 70-minute long-ass games. It's so fucking stupid.
I only remember the 70, man. I'm stupid as fuck. Yeah! Dude, me and Scar are basically like Reddit, dude. You're basically arguing with Reddit right now. I don't remember any of that shit. All I remember is Turtle fucking comp CLG, you stall until fucking 80 minutes, dude. So
that's literally okay, Frog, you bring up a good point. There was a period of time where Dignitas, when I think I just started coaching the team, we ended up having some of the best barrier control for like a period of 3 or 5 weeks.
Wait,
and no one's
had best barrier control.
Wait, what?
Did you say Dignitas has best barrier control?
Yeah, no, straight like actually last season they had insane barrier control, but like even when I was coaching the team, there was a period of a couple weeks where our barrier control was like super good, but no one remembers that because it was just funny to meme about it. And then everyone just ended up forgetting because after, there was like 2 or 3 weeks where our barrier control was bad afterwards. And it was just like, alright, they had bad barrier control the entire season. And I'm just like, you know what? It's on me. It happens, you know. The best thing you can do is just give him something else to talk about. Who remembers all the way back then? Season 2 Froggen, maybe you weren't the stalwart everyone thinks you were, but Season 8 Froggen, that's who you're going to be. That's what people are going to think about.
That's true. I mean, yeah, what Scar said, instead of giving them the, like, fucking Baron bullshit, they just gave them, what was that play? You weren't on that team when they fucking got 4-man executed all around the map.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't on the team. I was not coaching that team, thank God. That's what people remember about Dig that season, where they got executed at the Rift Herald and at the bot lane power dive. Just 4 people died. It was competitively probably the worst game ever in the LCS.
I think there's probably worse games if you look for that.
If you looked at that game, you would disagree. I remember it was bad.
Alright, fair enough. I mean, we'll move on from this topic. Are you sure, Froggen, you don't want to tell what an ideal team? Not even what do you think would be like? Obviously, you'd get me on the team. Who would you have support, jungle, top? Anything?
Honestly, for me, it doesn't really matter. Like, I think I'm a pretty versatile player, and so it's like I'll pretty much fit into anywhere. I don't really mind the style I'll have to play. So whoever I have on the team, I'll just be able to adapt and play the style they want really well. That's what I think.
All right, fair enough then. Let's go to the next topic. So, jungling is a hard role to define sometimes. What do you think the main role of the jungler should be? Oh, I love this question. I think the main role of the jungler is to be the fucking laner's bitch. A lot of people disagree with me here, and that's okay, dude. But when junglers AFK farm, so I'll have someone, I know what I want to play jungle. This is going to clutch us out the game. Insta-log Shyvana, never see them for 50 minutes in the game. Laners fucking lost. What a bunch of garbage players. It's just like, yep, you got me, dude. I'm just fucking awful. I'm getting fucking 5-man tower over and over again, and you're fucking jerking off at your Gromp. Good fucking job, dude. Like, if you jungle that style, that's okay. But in my opinion, I think that the jungler's role is to facilitate the laners to do well and to impact the map with them. What do you think, Scar?
That's what I always had problems with people with, where I think junglers should just be doing. I think the jungler's role is to ignore the laners, and like the laners' opinion, like maybe not ignore, but I think that it's really easy to get swayed into like the laners' opinions on what's right and wrong. I think your goal is to be the volatile factor in the first, especially in the early game. Like your job is to be like everyone lanes, and the game would literally be 1v1, 2v2 if you didn't exist. So like your job is to make sure that whatever happens, you set a good position for your team. I don't necessarily know if that means being the laner's bitch, but sometimes that's true. Sometimes they should be, but then sometimes I just think. That's why they get so much shit. I think that junglers get so much shit because people expect so much of them. I think, like, Kia, you're probably just like, this guy should be warding for me all over the place, should only play tanks, needs to initiate frontline for me, sacrifice his body for me, give me his Gromp. If I'm 100 gold away from BF Sword, I need it. And it's just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
All I'm saying is, like, if I have my lane opponent on the tower with, like, 10 fucking health, and then I ping them, and then my jungler goes to fucking farm wolves or some shit, like, obviously, I'm not going to be like, what the fuck are you doing, you idiot? But it's like, you know, is the 70 gold that you're getting from Wolf worth more than the pressure that you could be getting bot lane? I could see people arguing either way, but in my opinion, it's not. Froggen, what do you think the role of a jungler is? You think it's to just say, fuck your lanes, dude, who gives a shit about them?
No, I mean, the jungler can kind of do whatever. I don't really... Like, if they want to farm up, right, like, you gotta play accordingly as a lane. If they want to do a lot of stuff, you gotta play accordingly too. The easiest thing is just to know what the jungler wants to play so you can do some kind of pick according to that, right? Like, you don't want to need to play super aggressive with Lucian mid if you have a Shyvana jungle, you know? You're just gonna get ganked over and over and die. There's nothing your jungler can really do. Like, you know, it's like, you gotta play according to each other. And yes, if you need help bot because you need 100 gold for a BF sword and the jungler decides to do a camp, well, the guy's a fucking idiot. Like, you should be able to help each other, right? That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I agree with Froggen. That's my biggest problem with junglers is, like, it's too easy because they don't really have to do anything. Like, yeah, they don't need to do anything. And it's not their fault if, like, if nothing happens, someone dies to a gank, it's like, well, I was fucking farming, dude. That's your fault. And, yeah, it is. But, like, if that happens, like, 50 times in a row and he hasn't warded and all he's been doing is just farming the entire fucking game, it's like, you know, at a point, dude, it's kind of like you're playing a 4v5. Agree with me? No?
I agree with you. If I die to a gank and the jungler has 2 trigger, what's up? That's a tilter. I won't be able to play the rest of the game.
Yeah, like, yeah, I agree with it. Like, if you're playing a jungler, like, I've seen people, they'll pick, like, Rek'Sai, and then they just never gank early. They never do, like, creative gank patterns. It's just like, I'm just going to farm my jungle camps and go late game. And it's like, well, we're late game and you're Rek'Sai and you're fucking useless because you built warrior and you have 0 kills and you haven't fucking done anything. Good job, dude. Like, Is it really his fault? No, because I mean I should have just won the 1v or the 2v2 bottom. I shouldn't rely on my jungler. But is it his fault because he was complete deadweight the entire fucking game? What do you think, Scar?
Yeah, I would say some of the blame is to him, but I guess that's why the role is so complicated. Like that's why whenever I'm like trying to even learn jungle myself, it's like the expectations of what the jungler needs to do and the expectations of what the lanes want the jungler to do. Sometimes I'm just like, wait, you expect me to be God? Like not even God and the servant. I need to be hard carrying the game, but not in the sense that I get you the kill. And in the last 1% you take, so you get the kills. So like, in the laner's head, like sometimes I think the jungler's job is to be like the omnipotent like support. And they get all the kills, they get the highlight montage, you were there and you set up the play for them correctly.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, cause jungler, the thing that tilts me the most is like junglers talk like they're fucking God, like I'm fucking God jungler, dude. Don't fuck with me. It's like they're fighting NPCs the entire fucking game. They're not doing anything that requires like using their fucking brain at all. Like occasionally they come out like, hey, look, a freebie, dude. Oh, I got a free kill. Nice. Let me go back to jungle. And it's like, look at my KDA. Look at my farm, dude. You guys all fucking suck. It's like, yeah, you've been fucking useless this whole game. No shit, we suck. The fuck you off from us.
So you think junglers should not have big ears? They're the most useless role in the game, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying they're the most useless. I'm saying they're the most impactful role for how little fucking work they have to do. Like, they actually don't have to use their brain or anything. I play jungle, dude. I'm drilling on my fucking self half the time. Who gives a shit? I have no fucking idea pathing or any of that shit. It's just like, oh, look, a free kill. I go and fucking kill the laner, and then I just go back to my jungle and farm. I'm not like, oh, let me get some pressure around here and shit. But I expect that from jungle men. Like, jungle men should be thinking like that. But, like, you know what I'm saying, Sky. They basically have to be God, or else I'm disappointed in them.
All right. Nice clarification.
Okay, so I clarify, for junglers, they need to be godlike. Skara says they need to be godlike. Froggen, what do you think? Do junglers need to be gods, or can they just be mere mortals and just try their best?
They can be mortals. They just need to put in a little bit of effort. You know, like, how often do you play with a jungler in solo queue that doesn't tell you anything in chat? He doesn't think where the jungler is. He doesn't try to track the enemy jungler at all, right? Like, you can literally just AFK in your jungle and just say where the enemy jungler is gonna end up, and it should be good enough for your team. You know, like, if you know the jungler's there and you need assist and some shit, you just put a damn assist ping down, you know? Like, it's that simple. I think people just don't really try to communicate with their jungler. And then there's a lot of junglers in NA that's pretty toxic, so it's not really a good combination. But if everyone tried to communicate more with the junglers, it would probably be much better overall. Yeah. Like a much better experience.
I can agree with that, yeah. Like, tracking the enemy jungler, like, just having the jungler, like, push out past the fucking river and not sit in his jungle the entire game is, like, worth so much to me. Like, seeing someone do that, I'm like, oh my god, he's actually fucking doing something. Like, if he spots the jungler once, I'm like, thank you fucking god. But, yeah, if they're just sitting in their jungle the whole time doing nothing, fuck them. Basically, just fuck junglers. Let's go to the next topic. I think we can all agree with that. Fuck junglers. A lot of people I've talked to have said that even though NA talent has improved over the years, players still aren't learning fast enough. Is there a specific reason for this? Scar made this topic. Scar, who are the people you've been talking to?
Like, a lot of the teams that I've been talking to, literally, like, just will always be like, okay, well, we need to import for this position because NA sucks. And a lot of the players I talk to do that too. And that's why I wanted to ask this question, because Froggen's on, he's a mid laner, and mid lane's the one position in North America where I talk to people and people are just like, Jesus Christ, dude. We can't do anything about this position. We have to import. If your name's not pole belter or high, we have to import 100% because it's just a lost cause. And so, Froggen, tell me, is it a lost cause? Is NA hopeless in the mid lane?
I mean, compared to the importer players, then kind of, yes, but I think the EU mid laners has just been better role models than the NA mid laners, you know? That's why we have so many good mid laners in EU. Wouldn't you agree with that, Scara?
Yeah, role models, like
we train them really well, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, they're good players, right? Okay, sorry, use a different word than I expected.
Yeah, but I don't really know if it's a lost cause or not. I think there's a lot of things about NA that just makes it harder to practice. Like, obviously, ping is an issue, especially when you play mid lane. There's a lot of like skull shots back and forth and stuff. I think one thing I noticed is in EU, when I played there, especially during season 4 and 5, a lot of mid laners will try to make plays and stuff. When I got to NA first, I was like, damn, dude, every single mid laner is just playing like they're the jungler's bitch or some shit. It's just like this sidekick for the jungler whenever they go in and do some stupid shit. They don't really try to like get really good, or they don't try to understand the lane really well. They just kind of walk around and do some shit and fight. That was my first experience when I got here, which is kind of odd compared to how EU is.
So you say NA mid laners are just more passive?
Yeah, I don't know what. Not really more passive. It's just like they won't try to make plays on the enemy mid laner. They will just like try to, I don't know, do something with the jungle. I think in EU, junglers would just gank a lot more during the time. Like, this is my experience when I got over here around season 5. I don't really know how it is now for EU because obviously I've been here for like 2 years, but I think in EU, the mid laners just try to actually like make a lot of plays, and it also does look very flashy when it happens. So
you're talking about in solo queue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, for LCS too.
Yeah, obviously. I can agree with that in solo queue because a lot of the times, like, I mean, yeah, I don't think that a lot of the times I play solo queue and yeah, I'm AD main. Most of the bot lanes I play against, they're just like, no one tries to do anything. Most people just try to scale, which I mean is fine. There's nothing wrong with like scaling. Like playing for late game's a really good strat, but like I know when I'm playing against a Smurf, like an LCS player, and when I'm playing against like just some fucking random solo queue player, because like they'll actually fight me back. Like a lot of the times people just don't fight back. They're just like, they just concede everything. It's just like, do something, dude. Just fucking try. I'm fucking just like in your face all fucking game. Like just kill my ass or something. Like a lot of, from a bot lane's perspective, it just seems really fucking weird playing sometimes. And like, I don't know how support. I think supports. What do you guys think of supports in NA? Do you think like, I think that there's some good supports, but I'd say that it's kind of lacking a little bit. Actually, no, maybe it's not lacking that much.
I think it's gotten a lot better over the years. But the problem was in the Ardent meta, it's hard to tell good supports. Like literally, even at Worlds, I was just like, who's the support player for this Chinese team? Who's the support player for that team? Legit just forgot. And it's not because like they're not playing well. It's just because the role itself is like very very forgettable. But like in this meta, I feel like it's a lot better for support players because like you can kind of show off a lot more. You could be a more versatile player.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, I guess like my biggest thing with I guess NA talent from just because I play solo queue 10 hours a day every day pretty much. Is that it just feels like a lot of them just don't take risks in solo queue, and I feel like risks are like what make you a better player. I don't know what your guys' experience is with it in solo queue, but it just feels like I don't want to feel like it feels like no one's trying, but it just feels lifeless sometimes. Where it's just like someone fucking do something, like just go for anything. I don't give a fuck if we just fucking lose off the play. Just go for something. Like,
dude, wait. You say that, you don't really mean that, dude. So you're saying that if the game loads in and your mid and top laner die at 3 minutes, you'd be okay with that?
I'm saying when we get to like team fighting and shit, maybe it's just because I get triggered back in the days of, like I said, Dignitas, where we stalled the game for 80 minutes. But like when I play solo queue and the game just stalls out and nothing's fucking happening for like 20 minutes straight, it's just like someone fucking just do anything. I don't give a shit if we fucking lose. It's a fucking, who gives a fuck? Just fucking initiate and team fight. If we lose, we lose. Who gives a fuck? You don't. What do you think, Scara, on it?
No, Frog, what do you think about this topic? We've talked a lot. I want to know what you have. What ideas you have.
I think that for supports, but also just in general, it seems like people just give up really easily. It's not necessarily that, obviously they're just sitting back not doing anything, but I think it's more that they don't know what to do. And this is pretty much the experience every single time I go to Korea and we play some games. It's just the Korean supports, they will just fuck you up. Like, they will just kill you because they know what they're capable of doing. In NA, it seems like a lot of them just have no clue how they're supposed to do anything. It's like, this poke support meta is just perfect for all of them. They can just sit in their lane and poke with their abilities, you know? Like, they don't really need to do anything. But shout out to Alicraft in the chat, and I know he's gonna be there because he just says, fuck this AD, I'm gonna go do some shit, right? That's fucking great.
No,
like,
I'll say that.
That.
On that topic, I think his playstyle, I think it's the worst fucking shit possible. It tilts me so fucking hard when people lose to it, because it's just such a fucking stupid thing to lose to. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna run. I'm like, I just had a game. I think it was my last game. I ping spammed the entire fucking. I ping spammed. I got a warning for spamming. And then I ping spammed again, and then my top lane died to it. And it's just like, dude, like, how can you fucking die to that? Like, what the fuck am I supposed to, like, I think it's great that he's, like, super, super active in the role and, like, trying to make plays and shit. But the fact that kind of shit gets rewarded in solo queue is just like, oh my god, man.
Well, the idea is like he's trying, right? Like, eventually when you get higher, actually you can't get higher, but when you play with better players, like, that won't work all the time. And he's supposed to learn from that, right? Like, I don't know. I like the fact that he roams, you know? That's why Ole did so well on the challenger ladder, because he, like, literally would just roam mid all the time. I'd be like, why is this guy here again? That's so pissed.
Yeah, I guess it's...
Yeah.
You can go.
I think there's really good and bad times for it. Like, in the game you said, right? It might be some stupid matchup in top where they're literally gonna spend the entire game fighting, right? Like, they're both gonna be low. The first guy to show up there is gonna get rewarded. So he just runs up there and gets a kill. Anyone can really do it if they just look at the map. But often people are just, they feel very restricted when they play the game, and they're like, well, I need to go butt right now, else my AD is just gonna get dove or some shit. Like, they don't really think about a lot of things that can happen in the game, you know?
Right, and you know what? Kitty's the problem too, because Kitty never wants to support the lead. Kitty's always like, you know, follow me around, just sit here with me the entire game.
That's not true, because if my support's fucking awful, like, let's just say he gives first blood in the stupidest fucking way, I'll just tell him, leave the fucking lane, dude. Don't ever come back to this lane. I'll just ward up and sit under my tower this whole game. So I definitely don't always want them to sit bottom. But let me ask you, what do you think about, because what Froggen said about they don't know, they have no idea what the fuck's going on and stuff. What do you think about if they added voice chat into solo queue? Because I'll say, from a bot lane's perspective, what Froggen was talking about, it's really hard for a support to roam, because for a support to roam, obviously the AD first of all needs to know that he's roaming. Don't fucking go aggro and don't show up in lane, because you're probably going to get tower dove. And they also need to know you need to ward up for your fucking backside, because your the enemy jungler is probably just going to 3v1 tower dive you. Like, that kind of stuff, if you could communicate it to your fucking AD, it would open up supports a lot more to actually roam, because I know a lot of supports don't like roaming, because they know the second they leave the lane, their AD is going to fucking die, and it usually happens. So what do you guys think of if voice chat was added? Do you think it improved the talent?
I don't really mind voice chat, but I don't think it will really fix the problem. If voice chat was there right now, they still would have no clue when to roam and what to do. That's what I think.
I think it's more like a long-term fix. Like, yeah, voice chat would help people get better at the game, but learning is like a two-way street, right? Let's say, like, they might be all the supports might listen to you, Cutie, because a lot of them look up to you, right? But if let's just say they're not an LCS player, you know, and then you use voice chat, you're just like, okay, dude, we're gonna make this play. You gotta go here, and then like they just don't agree with you, and they start flaming each other. I think I'm on the side of you, but I have a lot of people playing League in my household, right? And when I talk to them about this issue, they're just like, no, it feels really bad to be in voice comms. Like, if voice comms was a thing and it was like mandatory or expected, then like getting flamed in voice comms is like 200 times worse than just getting a type. Like they like can't handle that well. And so I don't mind getting flamed because I've been getting flamed by random people for like my entire competitive career, right? But I can understand where like that level of like toxicity, possible toxicity, isn't something that Riot ever wants to do.
Yeah.
Even in the expense of making the game better, because that's still hard to quantify.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess I have like a warped sense of like what solo queue is, because yeah, we talked about it before. Where like I can't really tell what solo queue really is like, because when I'm in the games, they feel a lot different than what they usually are. Because yeah, I don't know how much people actually argue with each other outside of whatever and all that bullshit that we had talked about before. Because yeah, I'd played a game where I just had two people just like fucking going at it the whole time, and it was just like, you wouldn't be saying this shit, or you never say this shit when Cutie's on your team, and all this bullshit. It's just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Just shut the fuck up and play the game already. Like, I guess I don't know what it's like on the other side to just be a solo queue player trying to grind your way up, like what voice comms would be like. I guess it would be kind of hellish because everyone's got a fucking ego and everyone wants to argue with each other. So, yeah. I mean, if there was one thing that you guys think could like elevate NA talent to the next level, what would you say? I'll start off. I'm going to go with academy teams. Froggen, what do you think?
I think just more effort into whenever they're playing solo queue. Like, to all the pros that say like solo queue doesn't matter and shit, like usually the challenger players and stuff, they will have some pros they look up to. When every single one says that, it doesn't matter and it's all they really got, it's not really that motivating, right? Like, they should really just try their best every single game. Not necessarily spam as many games as possible, but they should probably spend time just studying how other people play, watch replays of whatever players they want a similar play style to, and then learn some stuff instead of just going in with the mindset that it doesn't matter at all.
I mean, I'll say on that I agree that people should take solo queue more seriously, and that includes Riot Games. Put the fucking challenger rewards out. Like, it's been how fucking long? How long has it been since the challenger season ended, and they still haven't announced what the fuck?
Dude, they're just trying to hype it up, dude. I don't even know what it is. But
I'm pretty sure most people have just forgotten about it. There's no more. It's just like fucking dead. Like, no one even gives a shit about it. But I'm not gonna drop. I'm gonna fucking bring it up every single time I can. Solo queue matters. Put a fucking reward to it. Scar, what do you think, though, for elevating it? The one thing needed.
I mean, I think the idea that Froggen has is correct. But I think that it's what we talked about before, where people aren't going to try that much in the Challenger season, except for when the Challenger ladder ends and the Challenger ladder begins. That's why everyone wants the season to end, right? So people are so mad that the season hasn't ended yet, but for me, I don't care, because if the season starts a month earlier, it means that in the middle months where no one gives a shit, it's going to last a month longer. Like, so it's still the same time frame for me, so I don't care when it starts or when it ends. The biggest problem is just there's no incentive for there to be constantly people playing in Challenger. And like,
there's LCS, dude. You could get promoted. Not anymore. Just kidding.
Shut up, dude. No, it's really just I'd like to see some sort of like monthly incentive for people to play the game. Like you know,
Clash?
Riot Games. Yeah, like Clash is something that's really cool actually that I like that they do. But also just for the ladder itself, like I'd love for them to give out like monthly or like bi-monthly awards to players in the ladder just for being good at the game. It's like you're encouraging people who are already the the players who play the game the most at the highest level, and they have this like ladder that doesn't really mean anything. Like from number 400 to 1,000, unless you're looking to go pro, like it doesn't super matter. Like I'm always the type of person where it's like, okay, you want people to care more, give them more incentives. If you give them more RP a month, dude, skins are stupid. But you know what else they are? They make a shitload of money because people actually do kind of care about RP and stuff like that. So why not tie an RP award to people who hit Challenger? I think that that's reasonable. Some sort of reward for players to just care more about the ladder. And that will trickle down, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that also, an incentive to actually care. Because a lot of people, they say, like, you shouldn't need an incentive to carry incentives playing in the LCS. Let's be honest, dude. No one's fucking, like, half the players aren't getting in the LCS. Like, every fucking slot that has, what's it called? Import is fucking taken. Like, you're probably not getting in the LCS. Let's just be fucking realistic here. It needs to be an incentive other than that, because like most players, yeah, they'll just like, what does it matter if you're number 100 on the challenger ladder? It pains me to say, no one gives a shit if you're 100, dude. No one gives a shit if you're like top 50. If you're getting to like top 20 or some shit, it's like, damn, dude, this guy is actually like a fucking beast. What the, like, people will start to care, but even then they don't. It's probably not even like that. It's like, oh, this guy's getting really high up. That's pretty good, man. So if they gave an incentive other than like, oh, maybe you could join an LCS team, I think it would help out a lot too. I can agree with that, Scar. All right, though, let's go on to the.
I think the thing with incentives and stuff, it doesn't necessarily fix anything, because how it is at the end of the season is everybody just camps for the spot and challenge, right? If people get rewarded every single month, you're just going to see people trying to camp as much as possible and play low amount of games. You'd want people to play a high amount of games if they're in Challenger, right?
The thing is, like, that camping causes people to play more. Like, yeah, people camp, but like especially at the bottom parts of the ladder where I was at fighting for Challenger last season, you have to play a lot. Like, some people can camp, and they have the luxury of being able to do that, but a lot of the players grind a shitload. Like, I'm sure 100% sure people play the most during the end and start of the season, because when you look at the ladder shifting in terms of like where the LP is, the highest LP is, it moves up so much in the last 2 weeks. It's insane. It moves up like 50 points.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, I can agree with that. Like watching the fucking ladder at the end of this season, it just kept going up. It was like, you know what? This season's probably going to end. I was like, it's going to end at like fucking 400 points or some shit. And it ended up ending at like fucking, what did it end at? It was like 500 or some like ridiculous shit. Like if you try to camp that shit, there's no fucking way you're going to end up doing that. I think with rewards, it'll definitely get more people. What?
You'll be able to camp it in some ways. Like, so you only need to play one game a day, right? That's basically it. So now you'll just have people waking up at 5 a.m. queuing up for their game, playing against the Diamond 2 people, and they just end up being challenged literally because they play at just a different time zone when everybody else is asleep. If they have a shit team comp, well, they're just gonna dodge and lose 3 LP and hope for the best next game, you know?
See,
like, there's gonna be so many bad things about it too.
I mean, that's the thing where I think that's the thing though, where like, I hate ELO boosters. Don't get me started on them. But like, you know, ELO boosters, they probably want the freest win. It's just going to be boosters versus boosters over there. And that, even though that's not the greatest thing, that definitely still helps with like, you know what? These are pretty good players. They're doing this because they can, man, and they're going at it. This is elevating the game. It might not elevate the game the way you want it, but I think like people are going to want the free wins. So whether it be, ELO boosters or like someone that's just, maybe they're not a challenger player. Maybe they're just garbage and they want a free win. They're going to wake up at that time, play against players that are like trying to win and actually get games that are good. Compared to like, a lot of the games I play right now, dude, I can't even fucking tell if people are trying. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, pick some stupid shit, just fed your ass off the whole game, and then they're just spamming forfeit at 50, and it's just like, alright, well, this is great, man. Good job. I think the weekly rewards could be
Weekly might be too much. Like I think that I kind of agree with Froggen. You don't want people to camp that much. Like maybe the thing is for me, I want to simulate the end of the season as much as I can because that's when most people play. I think the most people take it seriously, and it's actually really enjoyable to play at the end of the season and the start of the season. Those are super fun times to play.
Yeah, and the most important thing too at the end of the season, the most like I don't know how it is for a lot of people, but for me, the most fun thing is just fucking gatekeeping people. Like just watching someone just like, I gotta win this game. This is the final game, dude. I gotta win, and just fucking annihilating them, just destroying their mental, and then watching their match history being all red afterward as they're just fucking tilting game after game. That shit, dude, really fucking wets my willy, man. You give me that shit every fucking week, dude. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. That shit feels good as hell.
You're degenerate, but I agree with you. I think every month would be cool. Like, so that way you can't sit, like, you're given, 10 days to play? So that means you have to at least play, I don't know, like, a decent amount of games a month. Like, I want to simulate the end of the season at the end of every month, pretty much. And random small award for it would be cool. Maybe it wouldn't get that hyped. It'd only be hyped the first little bit, but anything to make people take the game more seriously. Because I think the idea that, like, hey, you need to take the game more seriously. You as a professional player, or you as a streamer need to take the game more seriously. That's just not going to happen. There needs to be some way to, like, make them do it or make them want to do it.
I can agree with that. You got anything else on this, Froggen?
No, I mean, monthly incentives are fine. I just think there will be a lot of issues with it that would need to be worked out.
I can agree with that. I'm sure, like, no matter what happens, we'll always just be a shit region, so who gives a shit, right?
Thanks, Keely.
No problem. So
pride right there.
2018 is fast approaching. What's your New Year's resolution going to be? Scar, you can start off.
I'm going to hit Challenger this year. Not be Rayquan Masters 2 years.
That's your New Year's resolution?
No. I think it's just, I think this year I'm going to be focusing like a lot on, or more on out of game health. Like I've been grinding so much League recently that it's starting to take its toll on me. And just, so like I think, starting pretty soon, I'm going to be focusing more on like, healthy body, healthy mind kind of stuff as opposed to being like ultimate grind lord gamer god, which has negative repercussions to if you extend it, like I have for multiple years.
That's a good New Year's resolution. Froggen, what about you?
I don't really do New Year resolutions.
Come on, you must have some. What goal do you have for yourself?
Well, if I have a goal for myself, I don't really need New Year to like hype myself up. I'm just gonna go out and do it.
Sure. But so that, is there any goal that you would like to have for the next year? Doesn't have to be like, New Year's resolution.
Sure, I have a lot of goals, but I don't really want to share them with people. So I like the grind of being able to keep myself to my own promises and all that kind of stuff.
I can respect that. I mean,
right.
I guess for me, like, I don't have New Year's resolutions either. I mean, I've been fortunate enough where there's nothing really that I don't know if it's good to say there's nothing really that I want anymore, but there's nothing that I'm like, I gotta do this, dude. I gotta get rank 1 in North America because I already did it. I gotta compete at the World Championships because I already did it. I gotta play in the LCS. I already did. Like, at this point, I don't think there's anything else for me to really do. Would you guys agree?
Whatever floats your boat, Keely.
Is that a yes from both of you?
Sure.
Exactly.
Keely.
So like I was saying, dude, I came, I saw, I conquered. There's nothing really left for me to do anymore, so I'm just chilling, dude. My New Year's resolution, keep doing me. I guess at the end of the day is that. But let's go to the final topic. The final topic, ladies and gentlemen, is the Discord Q&A. It's time for some good old-fashioned question and answer segments. You got questions, boys. We got answers. Let's get straight to it. We're going to start off with Brentos wants to know. I'll start off with this question. This is just a great question. Do you guys believe Tyler 1 will finally be unbanned the start of the new year? I'll start off. I think so. I think he's earned it. I don't fucking know if he's earned it, but sure, why not? Sky?
He'll get unbanned. I'm 100% positive he'll get banned. I'm actually, that thing that happened where that writer tweeted, posted on the forums was just like probably him. They officially announced it behind the scenes, and he just got so excited. He wanted to share the big news with everyone, but he didn't want to do it publicly. So he was just like, what do people not use a lot? The Riot League of Legends forums. Maybe they won't know this, and he just like messed up. They took it down. I'm 100% sure he'll get unbanned by next year.
Froggen, you don't give a shit, right?
I mean, I haven't really followed the whole thing that's been going on, so I mean, I don't really know.
Hey, I can't blame. I'll be honest. I don't really give a shit either. I mean, I honestly, I'm excited just for more people to play against in solo queue. Like, I love Nightblue. He took a really long time off streaming. I fucking hated it because I fucking love playing against him in solo queue. The more people that I get to play against in solo queue, the more fun it is. Especially if they're like streaming, because then it's funner. But let's go to the next question. Fox. Don't you think teams should look a bit more into challenger players who are not pro yet? There are some really sick players out there. So I'm assuming he's talking about, so there's a lot of players that make like highlight clips and stuff that I'm sure some of you guys have seen on the YouTubes and stuff like that. You guys think some of those kinds of players, if they came into the LCS, just be making YouTube videos of, just watch what I do to fucking double lift or some shit? You think they should have scouting talent for that? No?
I think
montages and stuff is all fine, but I don't really think that shows you if a player is good or not. You can literally just be playing 16 hours a day, and then you will have some highlight plays, right? Like, then you can make a montage and you can show off how good you are.
But I have a lot of people, so I get a lot of people in my chat that tell me, Cutie Pie, you don't have as many highlights as like this guy, so clearly he's a better player than you at bottom lane. Like, they'll show me some guy that plays only AD. He's got like fucking 1 million highlight videos, like highlight number 5,000. You don't think players like that maybe should be priority scouting? No?
I think people constantly overrate players because they want to believe that they're better than they are. And I think that it's fine to fish for, or it's like want to support players who aren't in the LCS or players who are aspiring to be good players. But like, at least for the mid lane position, when people tell me X player is really good and I've laned against X player and then I go and then lane against someone who's in the top of the LCS and it's like night and day, I just think it's funny. Like, there's a long road to go. Like, I recently talked to someone on the academy team for mid laners, and they're just like, yeah, like, even with a bunch of the academy mid laners, they're like at least a year off from even being considered to be in the LCS, and that's like the bare minimum. And if people are telling me that people outside of the academy deserve to be scouted, maybe they do, but no one's going to invest the kind of resources on that big of a risk or that big of a long shot.
All right, fair enough. Hawk wants to know, at Froggen, how did you and how do you practice mechanics?
You play the game a lot and you spam the same champion many games in a row. I think that's the best way. You know how whenever people ask you the questions, what's the meta, right? Tell me your top 5 champions so I can play it. And they proceed to play 5 new champions, right? Like, they're not going to get good mechanics. They're going to get good mechanics on a champion if you literally just spam the champion for like 50 games in a row. Maybe that's an over-exaggeration, but you just got to play the game a lot with the same champion. Whether it's a good or bad matchup really doesn't matter. Like, you should be willing to lose in order to gain some experience on the champion and in order to like get some knowledge of what you can do in certain cases, and then you will be able to get really good mechanics.
Yeah, like a lot of the times people ask me like, what should I do for mechanics? And yeah, I say the same thing. It's just play the fucking game. But it's like it really is. If you focus on just playing one champion, your mechanics will improve a lot just because of that. Because if you're trying to play 20 different champions, like, ooh, I'm a really versatile player, so I play every single fucking bottom laner in the game right now, and then it's like, dude, my fucking Jinx is nasty, dude. It's like, no one gives a shit about your Jinx. You're fucking wasting your time playing it, and you should just be focusing on, like, the champions that are meta, because by playing them, you'll understand, like, hey, you know what? I could, like, go for a flash in this situation against this matchup, and I have enough damage to win it. Where if you're playing fucking 20 different champions, it's like, I don't know what the fuck I do in any of these situations, because this is my first time ever being in it. You should focus on, if you want to improve your mechanics, not even if you want to improve your mechanics, if you want to improve your game, you should play one champion and then focus on everything other than the champion you're playing, because you should understand how that champion works, and that'll improve your mechanics. Sky, you have any advice for him?
Nah, I think I agree exactly with what you guys said. The only difference is I think that the AD carry role might be a little bit more homogenous than the other roles. So I think that mechanically on the AD role, a lot of the mechanics can kind of carry over, because a lot of the champions are like inherently built on just being able to like last hit well, and like your movement and positioning while last hitting is like what's key. And so like being able to play multiple champions in the AD role, a lot of them are similar, like play out similarly, even though they have different abilities. Like the same core kit is the same, and for other roles that may not be the case at all. So I don't know. I just agree with both of you.
All right. Veggie Bunny wants to know, at Froggen, hi there, your favorite mod here. Do you guys think import rules should be lifted, EU/NA? Also, should someone like Froggen, who plays for 2 seasons in NA, still count as an import, since Bjergsen isn't counted as an import anymore? So, what do you think of the import rule? You think it should be gone?
No, I think it's good that you have some, what's called some local talent. It's like, it wouldn't really be that exciting if you just have 5 foreigners on every single team and they're just competing. Like, is it even NALCS at that point, you know? I think it's great.
I can agree with that.
I mean, for me, I've actually been a fan of restricting the import rules even more. But I do think that was under the assumption that maybe the having like one import increases the chances for NA talent to play in the LCS, and that's obviously going to be true. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the skill of the region increases. So I'm kind of 50-50 on my thoughts about the idea, but I thought maybe a 4-1 would be better than what it is right now.
Yeah,
I
agree with Scott.
I don't know. Like I think a 4-1, but if they play for 2 seasons or 3 seasons in the LCS, they can count as a resident. So like less stricter like residency rules, but more stricter like players per team, like limited to 1, which 1 is 20% of the team. Like I think that's pretty significant. But that's kind of a more controversial statement.
I agree with you. I think if they made it 4-1, it'd be a lot better, just from like, yeah, watching imports is like cool and all, but I want to see like the people that I'm playing against in solo queue like going at it and shit. Or I don't give a shit about like some fucking random ass import. I have no fucking idea who he is. I don't know anything about him. He just like showed up one day and haha, he's in the LCS now. Good job, dude. Like I like seeing players that I'm actively playing against, so I think restricting it even more would be better. But that's just me. Let's go with one more question. Let's go. The final question will be Jack Guntavius wants to know, at all of us, if you had a one trick a champion for the rest of your life, who would it be? I'm gonna go with, if I had a one trick a champ for the rest of my life, I'm gonna go with Scar is fucking muted. Hello?
Wait, you just cut off on the final question.
Okay. This guy asked, if you had a one trick a champion for the rest of your life, who would it be? I'm gonna go with, I want to say, I think I'd go with, at the end of the day, probably Twitch. I think Twitch is a really fun fucking champion. Something about Twitch just speaks to me. Maybe it's the fact that he's just a fucking smelly, grimy fucking rat. I kind of like that in him, dude. So I'd probably, I can kind of relate to him, so I'd go with Twitch, in my opinion. Scara?
A lot of people are expecting certain champ. I think recently I've been really enjoying Alawi. Like, really enjoying Alawi. So, for now, I'm going to go with that.
Dude, I agree with you on Alawi. Alawi's fucking
so
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, I fucking love playing her, dude. That's a good choice.
I mean, for me, it's pretty obvious. So, just gonna be Anivia.
Oh.
You still got that passion for Anivia?
I mean, yes. Like, I still play the champion, you know?
I can respect
like,
it.
It's my most played this
Is it really?
Wait,
season.
really? I didn't even realize you played it that much. Oh my god.
Yeah, damn, what the hell? Dude, I mean, cause like, I used to have like champions that I one trick, like I used to one trick Poppy and Pantheon and all that bullshit, but I stopped playing them once they like come out of the meta, cause it's like, I like one tricking champions that are like the best or whatever. I like winning at the end of the day, so I just play shit that's fucking broken, you feel me? So, I guess my one trick would probably change eventually. Like, maybe it wouldn't be Twitch. Maybe I'd stop playing Twitch when, like, the meta changes. I'll just play fucking Yeah, I'm sure if you asked me at the start of the season, I'd say fucking Ezreal or some stupid shit, so. I can respect a man that sticks to the Anivia through thick and thin, though. That's good stuff. But that's gonna conclude the live Discord question and answer segment, and that's gonna conclude Beyond the Rift episode number 20. I want to give a big thank you to our friend Froggen for joining us today. Froggen, my friend, if people want more of you, where can they get you?
Ooh, they can find me on Twitch, just /Froggen.
Scara, if people want more of you?
Twitch and Twitter /Scara. I'll be streaming right after this, so you can catch me there if you're interested. But I mean, thanks for coming on, Froggen. Really happy you came on.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, and if you guys, if you want more of this, every Thursday, same time, 5 p.m. Eastern, every day, or every Thursday, not every fucking day. And yeah, that's gonna be a special thank you, can't forget, to you guys for being here today. Thank you all. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye.
And a great New Year's.
And a great New Year.
We won't see you till after.
Because we won't. Good shit, Scara. All right, I'm out, everyone. See you later.
Bye, guys.